Chief Executive Zhang Li holds this year's first town hall meeting to gather views for the upcoming policy address. A man believed to be troubled by mental health issues killed his wife and 2 sons before jumping from a hotel in Tsuen Wan. And some 2,000 residents, including habitants in 3 care homes, are left without power after a water leakage has caused suspension to power at a residential complex in To Kwa Wan. Good evening. You're watching Cable News. I'm Jeremy Zhu. Chief Executive Zhang Li held his first town hall meeting for the upcoming policy address this morning, discussing a broad array of topics with residents, from land use to the challenges faced by the city's ethnic minority population. Evelyn Bai has the story.
At a primary school in Hong Kong, a neighborhood where the city chief grew up, around 120 people from all walks of life shared their opinions during the 2-hour district forum.
2個星期前呢，見到我哋啟德嗰邊嘅方艙醫院呢，就改。
This woman, who chairs a children's choir in Kowloon City, noted the recent transformation of the unused COVID-19 isolation facility in Kai Tak into a cultural hub, questioning whether a part of this space could be allocated to non-profit organizations and charities focused on arts and children's education.
18區嘅區議會同埋
In response, the city leader pledged to utilize the district governance structure, tailoring solutions to local conditions, as methods effective in one area may not necessarily be applicable to another. The forum also saw active participation by local ethnic minorities.
Given the engaging mental health challenge and identity crisis faced by ethnic minority youth in Hong Kong, how can government policy and district-level programs be designed to provide culturally sensitive mental health support and foster stronger sense of identity and belongings among them?
This woman, wearing a headscarf and fluent in Cantonese, noted that some women like her were once rejected in job interviews due to their appearance, despite their high academic qualifications and abilities, asking how the government could foster a fairer and more diverse work environment. Li acknowledged the need for supporting ethnic minorities, including language proficiency. He mentioned that the Education Bureau has different funding measures each year, and that ethnic minority care teams are in place to better understand the cultural backgrounds of these communities. This university student suggested that the government should support the practical application of autonomous driving technologies in the city. Li expressed gratitude for the valuable feedback, adding that technological applications must consider the city's actual conditions. The city leader will hold another town hall meeting next week before delivering his 4th annual policy address in September. Evelyn Bai, Cable News.
A man was suspected of killing his wife and their 2 young sons before plunging to his death from a hotel suite in Tsuen Wan. The case has been classified as a murder-suicide, with investigators suggesting the suspect may have suffered from mental health issues. Bloodstains marked the pavement as officers cordoned off the scene. The hotel suite window remained open with bloodstains on the curtains. Police received a report at around 4:45 a.m. and found the 37-year-old man who had fallen from the 18th floor of Tsuen Wan's Panda Hotel. The man was pronounced dead after being rushed to the hospital. In their subsequent search, officers discovered his 36-year-old wife and their 2 sons, aged 3 and 6, dead in their rented suite, all bearing knife wounds. There were no signs of physical fights at the scene. A 24-centimeter knife was recovered from a sofa. Police revealed the family had rented the 72-square-meter 2-bedroom unit since May, with their tenancy due to expire in August. While no financial pressures were identified, investigators found social media posts in which the suspect expressed struggles with mental health issues and voiced concerns about his ability to care for his family. Forensic teams are reconstructing the incident with the motive under investigation. The electricity of 2 of 4 blocks at Yifeng Mansions in To Kwa Wan has been restored after residents went through a long, hot night in complete darkness. Some residents had no choice but to stay at temporary shelters, while an elderly care home in the community continued to operate without power. Bess Leon has the story.
After overnight repairs, partial power has been restored to the affected housing complex. Some residents who had sheltered at a community center returned to check their flats, only to find themselves still without electricity. This elderly resident complained the food she bought yesterday has spoiled in her refrigerator. The weather is too hot, she said, adding that she and her husband, who has health issues, would return to the community center. An elderly care home in the same building remains without power. Its 25 residents have been relying on fans plugged to power banks to stay cool, with staff ensuring they bathe regularly and drink plenty of water. Local care teams have visited, distributing bottled water. The blackout has also crippled businesses in the area. A ground-floor newsstand could not operate its autobus terminal, with lukewarm drinks in non-functioning fridges costing the owner thousands daily. Nearby guest houses have suspended operations. At an emergency meeting with CLP Power, the owners' corporation agreed to implement temporary power solutions as repairing work would take time. Kowloon City District Councillor Kwan Ho Young explained the two-phase plan. First, installing 4 temporary power switches, then coordinating wiring work between CLP and building technicians. The outage, affecting over 800 households and 2,000 residents, including seniors in 3 care homes, was triggered by a burst water pipe that caused water leakage. Bess Leung, Cable News.
Financial Secretary Paul Chen revealed that the city's economy is set for a continued growth in the second quarter, which will mark the 10th consecutive quarter of growth upon this week's announcement of the figures. Evelyn Bai reports.
Writing on his weekly blog, Chen highlighted that the economy growth is driven by export activities, overall investment, and private consumption. He anticipates that private consumption, which has faced declines over the past 4 quarters, will rebound in the second quarter. Boosted by sustained economic momentum, ongoing capital inflows, a bullish stock market, and a stabilizing property market. Addressing mega events, Chen said, the Hong Kong Football Festival 2025 at Kai Tak and the Animation Comic Game Fair at the Convention and Exhibition Center in Wan Chai have attracted local and overseas fans, particularly people from the Greater Bay Area, further boosting consumption and creating business opportunities. The finance chief also expressed cautious optimism on retail sales performance in June, following a year-on-year increase in May, which ended a 14-month contraction. On the job markets front, Chen described it as relatively stable. From March to May, the median monthly wage of employees climbed by 6.8% year-on-year to $25,000. However, he noted that the economic transformation and upgrade process can lead to imbalances across different industries, with labor-intensive sectors like retail and catering facing significant pressures. Economic transformation and upgrading is an inevitable and continuous dynamic process, he added. Looking ahead, Chen stated that Hong Kong's economic outlook remains positive in the medium to long term. Evelyn Bai, Cable News.
Shedding light on the proposed regulatory framework for ride-hailing services, Transport Secretary Mabel Chan stated that the number of licenses for ride-hailing vehicles will be limited, with the aim to maintain taxis as the primary mode of hire car and ride-hailing services as a supplementary option.
我哋認為都要有一個總量嘅限制。
Taking to the airwaves, the transport chief stressed that a restriction on the total number of licenses is needed to balance the entire society, road capacity, and prioritize public transport efficiency. Having this in mind, Chan stated there are several factors to consider. First is about citizens and their travel experience, which the government hopes to maintain and improve. Meanwhile, while authorities aim for a balanced public transport ecosystem, road capacity should also be considered. The transport minister also expressed hope that the entire system can develop in an orderly, healthy, and sustainable manner, where taxis and ride-hailing services coexist and complement each other. She noted that a significant portion of the passengers still prefer to hail a taxi on the street or at a taxi stand, as they find this more convenient, believing taxis to remain the mainstream, while ride-hailing services play a supplementary role to fill the gaps, fostering diversity and dual-track development. In Beijing, heavy downpours lashed 3 suburban districts on Saturday evening, crippling parts of transportation and communication and prompting the evacuation of more than 3,000 residents. No reports of fatalities or injuries have been released yet. Beslan reports.
Miyun, Huairou, and Yanqing districts issued an upgraded red alert for torrential rains yesterday evening, the highest in the 4-tier weather warning system. A town in Miyun district experienced severe flooding, leading to power and communication outages. Firefighters dispatched emergency teams to reach the mountainous region to rescue trapped villages. More than 3,000 residents in Miyun district were forced to leave their homes overnight. Evacuation and rescue operations are still underway. In response to the continuous heavy rainfall, Miyun Reservoir, Beijing's largest, gradually increased its discharge flow. In Huairou district, the flash floods caused by the continuous heavy rain have cut off the roads. Beijing is expected to continue to experience heavy rain, and train operations on 3 rail lines and water transportation services in 3 districts have been suspended until further notice. Beslan Cable News.
On the 4th day of border clashes between Thailand and Cambodia, U.S. President Donald Trump indicated both nations agreed to ceasefire talks after his discussions with their leaders. In Thailand's Suring province, artillery fire hit a residential home, causing a fire. Thai military reportedly responded with heavy weapons after Cambodian forces launched rocket attacks at dawn. The ongoing conflict has displaced over 100,000 border residents at a temporary camp in Cambodia's Odar Minche province. Hundreds were queuing for water distribution. With international concern growing, U.S. President Donald Trump held separate calls with Thailand's acting Prime Minister Phumtham Wechayachai and Cambodia's Prime Minister Hun Manet, urging an immediate end to hostilities. He warned the U.S. would withhold trade agreements if fighting continues. Trump later stated both sides agreed to meet immediately and work toward a swift ceasefire, adding trade deals would follow once stability returns. Thailand's foreign ministry said Phumtham conditionally accepted a truce but emphasized the need for Cambodia's genuine commitment. However, Thailand's army maintains troops will stay on alert until a formal agreement is reached. Hun Manet confirmed Cambodia's readiness for an unconditional ceasefire, assigning Deputy Prime Minister Sun Chan-to to coordinate with U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio and Thai Foreign Minister Maris Sangkiampongsa to implement measures and prevent further casualties. In the United States, at least 11 people were stabbed at a Walmart in Michigan in what officials called a random attack near the checkout area. The suspect is being held in custody. 6 victims remain in critical condition, with 5 others seriously injured. The incident took place in Traverse City, 410 kilometers northwest of Detroit, on Saturday afternoon local time. The 42-year-old suspect, reportedly acting alone with a folding knife, was subdued by fast-acting citizens and officers responding to the scene. Authorities are reviewing security footage and questioning the suspect. The motive behind the attack is still unknown. Walmart has closed the store for the ongoing investigation and is offering support to those affected.
Onto the weather now. Becoming cloudy overnight, there will be a few showers and thunderstorms tomorrow. Very hot with sunny intervals during the day. Temperatures will range between 27 and 33 degrees. Expect more showers later. That's our news tonight. I'm Jeremy Zhu. Thank you for watching and good night.